Welcome once again. This is Prime News. I'm Mike Alanos. All right, this hour, the frantic search for a missing 9-month-old. It's centered around a lake. Police in Dallas say that's where they believe little Daisja Weaver's parents threw her body tied to a sandbag. Now, at first, Mom told police a much different story, that a man broke into her apartment, tried to sexually assault her, and kidnapped her baby. Well, now, according to court documents, police say she was just covering up the baby's father. Now, both have been arrested. We'll take your calls, comments, questions, 1-877-TEL-HLN. Joining me now on the phone to talk about this, Steve Thompson, reporter for the Dallas Morning News. Also with us, HLN law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks. Mike, been all over this all day today. Steve Thompson, let's start with you. What is the story that little Daisja's mom is telling now?
Well, according to the police documents, police aren't alleging at this point that they think that the parents necessarily killed the baby, at least intentionally. What they do say is that Mom got together with detectives on Saturday and explained that she did, in fact, know where the baby was, that on Monday before that, she'd come home from work. The father of the child had been babysitting. And she came home and the baby was dead. And it's a little unclear, according to the documents that we got, how they think the baby may have died. But she told police that the father of the child tried CPR, and that didn't work. And that she asked him what happened, and she said that he became threatening and violent. And he said, "Look, we got to sit together on this. We're going to have to tell police that the baby was kidnapped."
And still, Steve, no,
that doesn't make
in that
sense.
story, or at least we're not being led on as to how the baby died.
Exactly. It says that she came home, found the baby naked, wrapped in a towel, not breathing, cold. But it says that she asked, or that she said that she asked the father what happened, and that's when he got heated with her, apparently, according to her.
Yeah, let's bring in Mike Brooks. Mike, so obviously just some sad news there. Is it a matter of time now, Mike, before this completely unravels on the father and mother?
Yeah, most likely, Mike. You know, but the strange thing is here, Weaver went to pick her up at work. He apparently watched the child quite a bit while she was working, and she said, "Where's the baby?" He said, "Oh, I bathed it, and now it's at home alone right now." Then when they got home, she comes in, and as Steve said, found the baby naked, wrapped in a towel on the floor. And, you know, so it's just, and when she wouldn't say, you know, when she said, "Okay, well, what really happened?" Apparently he threatened her, and that's when they concocted this kidnap story. But cops weren't buying this right from the very beginning, Mike.
Yeah, because, again, Mike, from the beginning, it was the story that someone came in and tried to assault her, kidnap the baby. That unraveled pretty quick.
Right, and she couldn't even give him a detailed description of the guy. Come on, you know, and so, and also, we also heard that law enforcement, right from the very beginning when they were taking her statements, they Mirandized her right then. Basically, look, you know, you have the right to remain silent, because right from the very beginning they thought they were involved.
Okay. Steve, as you look, how much digging on the background of this family is there? I mean, is there a history of any domestic violence in the household?
Not that we've been able to find. No history of domestic violence. You know, they're both pretty young. The dad's 20 and the mom's 19, so that hasn't given them a lot of time to, you know, to develop any kind of trail of records of whether they've gotten in trouble or not. But here in Dallas County, at least, I can tell you neither one of them has criminal records.
Okay. What about family members on either side? Are they talking now? Are they pointing fingers?
I haven't talked to any of the family members yet today. Last week, the family members were being pretty supportive of the mom and dad and saying, "Look, you know, the cops aren't focusing where they need to be focusing." The family even sort of organized a search on their own when they said that the police are off searching, you know, these other places and not where the baby first disappeared. And they were saying, you know, they didn't feel like, you know, police were looking in the right place.
But, you know, before she was charged, Mike, before they charged her today, some of his family was pointing the finger saying, "Oh, well, you know, she's blaming it all on him," you know, so that they thought she had something to do with it also. And, you know, the other sad thing, Mike, she is 6 months pregnant with this guy's baby.
Oh, man, what a sad. Okay, let's get a call in. Bev in New York. Hi, Bev. Your comment or question?
Yes. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Bev.
Yeah, I just want to know, you know, these women that let these guys come into their life, like the other little girl that's missing, or with her mother, I think if these girls were getting just as much it or whoever, maybe the stuff will stop. Because every day you turn on the TV, either they killed their own kid, and then she gets on the TV crying, begging for her daughter back. And she knows the baby's dead already.
Yeah.
You know, it's just unbelievable. I think, you know, start throwing the book at the women, too.
Yeah. Okay, Bev, thanks for the call there. Mike, as we look at Alondis Weaver here, he was charged with fabricating, tampering of evidence. It bails at $100,000. I mean, right then, you had to know as an investigator, that's not the bail for someone who's been tampering with evidence, right?
No, not at all, Mike. That's a pretty high bond, and you know, it's seriously bad if he's going to be able to make that bond to get out. But both of them now are being held, and if when they find the body, then they'll both probably be charged with homicide.
Yeah. Steve, do we know possibly where? So they have what, an old apartment and a new apartment?
Yeah.
Is that how that story goes?
Yeah, exactly. And apparently they were the night that they reported the baby had been kidnapped, they were in the process of moving from an old apartment to a new apartment about 7 miles away. So they called police. Police came to the old apartment, and pretty soon the police went and searched that new apartment. This was just before midnight, when apparently they were moving out against a deadline. But police got a search warrant to search that new apartment, and they say they found a bunch of baby clothes and different things that they seized, including some with red stains. According to a search warrant inventory, they say they found a fitted sheet from a bed with red stains in that new apartment.
Yeah, the story does.
And Mike, you know,
it's getting worse. Go ahead.
It wasn't until the next day he went and picked her up at work, and that's when they stopped at this bridge over this lake and then tied the little 9-month-old baby to a sandbag and threw it off the bridge into the lake. It was the next day.
That's awful. We'll continue our conversation about this. Take your comments, questions, emails, the number 1-877-TEL-HLN, email cnn.com/Prime News.